Hello, and welcome back to our U.S. Navy 1890 campaign, Waves of Steel. In the last episode, we started basically, this is so much carrier associated stuff, like these Miamis. These are like little air defense cruisers that we're going to assign to our carrier groups essentially as, support. And that's really about it. We have a lot of refits that we're going to have to work on. That's, you know, stuff to do, things to work on. Lots of stuff that needs modernization, like the Pennsylvanias need a refit, but that's going to be an expensive thing to do. The Chattanoogas, they're okay for now. The Tacomas, 1944, they're going to need a refit soon. The Brooklyns are going to need a refit soon. The Rangers will need a refit soon. So there's a lot to do, lots to work on. Hopefully, we won't get pulled into a war with France here. Tension should go down due to the recent war, although I'm not sure how recent the war has been. Let's take a look at the balance of power here. Boy, we really are the only nation still running a lot of battleships. So maybe it's time for the West Virginia to go. We still have three, even if we got rid of the Pennsylvanias and the West Virginias, which I'm actually, you know what, I'm kind of tempted to do that. We'll still have three battleships, which is more than any other nation. That would actually help our budget quite a lot. And those are 1933 hulls on the Pennsylvanias. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and scrap that stuff. Farewell to the battleship fleets as far as the older stuff goes. So scrap, and look at that, we're in positive balance. So let's go ahead and build two of these Miami class, because we were building six and we need eight, one for each carrier essentially. We're going to need even more than that. So let's save the game and press the button and hope for some budget events. That would be kind of nice. Italy and Japan have signed an alliance. Tensions between Japan and Russia are tense. So if Russia goes toward Japan, they'll be at war with Italy too soon. Britain has increased their naval budget. Germany is reduced due to the recent war. France reduced due to the recent war. Increases due to our power making them apprehensive. And Spain just keeps going. It goes up, goes down. We're never going to be at war with Spain, as much as it's funny as it would be. Oh, we'll take this, although it is tension. Let's do it. Hopefully it just won't be, we won't catch any from France. Hey, nice, we dodged it. And then let's build two more Miami class without hurting the budget too much. Japan is, let's just do one tension with Japan. They've got enough trouble, and I don't care what they're doing over there. As far as I'm concerned, they can have South Korea. I just don't want to lose a prestige over it. I don't, you know. There you go. France and Great Britain are mad at each other. That's kind of cool. I'd like to see that battle happen, just to see what they do to each other. All right, how's our construction queue look? So, about 6 months before this first set of Miamis are finished, and then once that happens, we might be able to start refitting some of the light cruisers. Let's avoid foreign entanglements. We don't care about Austria-Hungary. We don't want to just pick a fight with France. We're not afraid of France. It's just we got other stuff we're working on right now. France reduces due to the recent war, so that takes us a little bit out of the danger zone, the immediate danger zone. So we're okay for hopefully a few months, as long as we don't get another weird tension event here. Okay. So I'm kind of tempted to swap away from gunnery and go to night fighting. So we are going to do that. We're going to swap over to night fighting. It's going to take a year to get there. Actually, no. We're just going to get rid of that entirely, because I think when you have night fighting selected, it increases the number of night fights that you have, and we don't want to do that with our carriers. Even though we have night capable stuff on our carriers, we just don't want to do that. We want nice, bright, beautiful sky. Well, we can get some tension here. We're just going to go with Japan because they're the easy target right now, but we're mainly aiming for the budget. That's what we care about. Actually, Britain's kind of an easy target too. Let's go for Britain. No need to pile on Japan at the moment. I still have a soft spot for Japan. All right, this is probably the time when we can start refitting some stuff. Oh, look at that. The Tacomas did go obsolete. So let's see if we can refit 3 of them. So we'll rebuild them. Oops. We will open the design for rebuild. We'll replace the machinery. We don't gain much weight anymore. What can we do here with these things? Not a whole lot, really. We can get rid of the catapult. We can put on a helipad. We can reduce the air capacity by 1, so it'll just be 1 helicopter instead of seaplanes. We have to go to spacious. We can upgrade the 6-inch guns. We could make the guns dual purpose, but that's going to tank our weight. So we're going to get rid of the secondaries entirely and make the main guns auto loaders. No, we're not. So we will add on. We're going to make the secondary guns 3-inchers because those are the improved ones. We will put 200 rounds of ammunition. Or hang on. Yeah, we're going to have 200 rounds of ammunition in the main guns because they're dual purpose now. They're going to be shooting more often at targets, like air targets and stuff. If we do radar directed AA, we can. We just have to reduce the numbers a little bit here to bring us to. Oh gosh, okay. We can't do dual purpose. So we're going to go back down to 180 rounds. We're going to increase our secondaries then. And look at that. It worked out. We could maybe reduce the speed down to 30 knots. Nah, there's no reason to do it. I was going to say, like, we could reduce the speed down to 30 in order to free up more space for, like, secondary guns, make these into a little bit better anti-aircraft platforms. But we won't have enough topside. Like, we can get a little bit more topside here. Actually, maybe we will do that. There we go. Yeah, so we get down to 30 knots, which is the standard for a fleet. And we add more secondary guns, and it puts us pretty good at topside. These are, I'm going to crank the ammo on these things. 300 rounds. There we go. So we're back to the original number of gun shells for the 6-inch guns. Okay, this will work. So Tacoma loses a lot of speed, but it gains a better radar and it gains a much improved secondary gun set. And it trades out the float plane for a helicopter. And what if we do that? We can add, yeah, we can add ASW rockets, mortars, just for a little bit better ASW. It's not much, it's only 2 points, but we'll take it. It doesn't mess with our top side. All right, we will take that, and we will rebuild. We will rebuild 3 of those right now, and we actually can rebuild. Yeah, let's rebuild all of them. So rebuild those. There we go. Just trying to rush to get this done before a war breaks out. So do we have any proposals going on here right now? I don't think we do. No, we're not. We're not replacing an unknown officer with a below average guy. Especially our first battle division. Those are like the pride of our navy right now. They're only battleships we have left. Heavy SAMs are here now. And I will have to reorganize my light cruisers. Add a couple more divisions. Because right now these Miamis need to go into our carrier groups. So like they'll go into light cruiser division 6. I assume it starts at 6. So those are already filled by some of these Chattanoogas. So let's swap these out to division, like division 1. That'll help cover the battleships. And then actually we'll give them 3 to that division. So there you go. Oh, some of the stuff in refit. Okay. So that's fine. I'm gonna wait for the Tacomas or whatever they are to come out of refit, and then I can reorganize the light cruisers. Let's not worry about what France is doing. And the Brits want to sell us 5-inch quality 2 guns. I think we use some 5-inch guns, so we'll go ahead and buy those. Why not? We get fully automatic 3-inch guns, which is pretty cool. Because I think that's what we have on the new Lexingtons that we're building. Is their main guns are 3-inch. Guantanamo Bay is in rebellion against the Spanish. We have 3-inch guns on the Lexingtons. So that's pretty cool. We'll take it. And what else can we? What else do we need to refit here? These Brooklyns need to refit. They're 1946, so let's go ahead and see what we can do with 3 of these. We'll replace the machinery on there. Boy, it's pretty overweight, isn't it? We'll add on a helipad. We'll get rid of the catapult. And we're going to drop the speed down to 30, so it's more even with the rest of the fleet. What else could we do here? Well, we got 3-inch guns. So we want a lot of ammunition because they're auto loaders. So let's go ahead and put that up to 300. We will add better radar. And let's actually cut the ammunition by a little bit so that we don't over encumber ourselves. We can actually strip off some of the light AA, I think. And we have to go spacious. Oh boy. All right, we could strip off a couple of the guns here. We're overloaded on port side now, so there we go. And now that'll probably let us, what can we actually do here? We can increase the number of light mounts. We can put our ammunition back up to 300. Let's do 320. Now we can add more light anti-air onto here. and that'll be fine. That's fine for a heavy cruiser. So we lose a knot of speed, and we lose a little bit of our secondary, but we gain a helicopter. We can add ASW rockets on here, right? Yep, we'll do that. All right. These Brooklyns are kind of jack of all trade heavy cruisers. They can do essentially whatever we. Hang on. Oh no, I lost the whole thing. Well, there it is. Okay, that's fine. And there's no way we can fit more missiles or SAMs or anything on there. Like the top side is overloaded, and like just the weight is kind of crushing us. Let's just go ahead and rebuild all of those while we can. And we don't have anything on Foreign Station. We'll put some Rangers on Foreign Station because we're rebuilding the Rangers soon anyhow. So once these Brooklyns come back out of refit, some of them will go on Foreign Station, and then we can refit the Rangers. Ooh, Britain goes up, Britain goes down, and France goes back up because our power makes them apprehensive. Well, boo-hoo. Let's not risk, we're going to give up a prestige so we don't make France mad. Even though we would like the Philippines for ourselves, so if we go to war with France, then we're going to steal the Philippines off of them if we can win. So here's the reconstructed Exeter class. They're not adding any missiles onto these things. And they are some pretty strong heavy cruisers as far as guns go. They got 9 10-inch guns. Okay, 1% savings on hull stuff. Increased SAM hit chance. That's good. That's really good for us. And I'm going to start refitting. I know this is risky to do it with France being so high, but we're going to try to refit about half of our corvettes. So we just replace the machinery. It's a 10-month rebuild. That's all we really need on here. We don't really care too much about the radar. Well, we can increase it to 5. Nah, we're gonna stick to 2. And they also want spacious, even on the corvettes. So we can just slap that on there. 10-month rebuild, and we're not worried about fire control. We're not worried about radar on these things. They're not there to fight. The Brits are protesting how much money they're spending. Oh, it's Great Britain and Japan. That's a good time for a war to start out, is during all of that. Let's give up a prestige to try and lower tensions with France a little bit. Maybe that'll work. Cool. There we go. Take one, little step back away from the edge of warfare there. We're going to handle this quietly and discreetly. See, the first engagement between Russia and Japan. Japan lost a light cruiser. I think they're probably pretty evenly matched. Japan and Russia, they're fairly evenly matched, but Great Britain has jumped in to help, so that throws the balance off. Britain has no battleships and no battle cruisers anymore. They're just going all in on the carriers. I mean, that's the way to go. It's a little bit tempting to get rid of the Minnesotas, but they are like brand new. We want to keep our battleships for maybe one more war, just to see how they perform. They don't have enough defensive capacity on them. Like they're not outfitted with enough SAMs and all that. Right now, they're kind of just big floating targets. Well, we could blame France, or we could just give up a prestige and build a little bit of tension. We'll do that. Hopefully, France won't go up. We're burning. Oh, Japan lost a carrier. Please tell me your secret for sinking carriers. Yeah, we're just burning our prestige up, trying to keep tension with France down, and it goes up and down and up and down. All right, we have our new crew training. And intention is to go with France even more. They're allied with Germany. It makes them feel confident about it, so whatever. All right, we have a lot of money left over right now. So we're going to build 2 more Miamis. We're going to build 2 more Lexingtons. And we're going to start refitting 2 of the Rangers, the ones that are not on foreign station. So rebuild them entirely from the ground up. We'll slap on the better radar. That's pretty much all we need to do with these things. We can improve the secondary guns. And we need to go spacious, which takes up more weight. So let's get rid of a couple of the 4-inch tertiaries. We can downgrade those to 3-inch guns and slap on autoloaders with like 300 rounds of ammo. Radar directed mediums. We can rip off 2 of those. Take off a couple of the light AAs. And that'll do it. Don't have to adjust the speed or anything of the sort. It gets spacious. Yeah, these will still serve. They'll still serve a purpose. We'll save and finish that. Rebuild 2 of them, yes, please. We're kind of in a rush here to just rebuild as much as we possibly can before war breaks out on top of us. The McCalls will be due for a refit very soon as well. Let's do the Red Rivers. Let's do it. Just rebuild. It's a 10-month rebuild. We might be able to squeeze it in before a war. I know it's risky, but if we go to war, we'll just assign like all these destroyers to trade protection duty. I know it's risky. The Minnesotas, they're new. We don't need to do anything with those. Okay. We could actually, if we're really looking at destroyers, we have a nice submarine fleet. We're at 90. Let's build some more submarines. So we do 10, 10. Okay. All right, we need to assign auto add aircraft. That's pretty much what we need is heavy jet fighters and jet attacks. So that is fine. So we'll take it. Copy the air group, paste it, and paste it. We're gonna have a lot of budget here in just a minute. because we still have more carriers being that will be finished here in just a minute. Lexingtons. Yeah, we have one, two more, three more. So let's build two more Lexingtons and go. Let's see here. Complaining about the band. Let's get rid of Stanley. This guy is average. Yeah, let's just get rid of Stanley. We don't know how good he is. We know that we have an average, at least an average guy. We'll take an average guy over an unknown. And what do we need to do? We can build two more Miamis. And then the United States still needs one. Air groups. Okay. So the Lexingtons will go into group 6. We're basically just bringing our newest carriers into these upper numbers of divisions, or I guess lower numbers of divisions. Reduces signaling errors, allows destroyers to scout roll. Friendly radar contacts are identified. That's pretty cool. I like that. Naval patrol craft. Yeah, we'll build a new one. I think we're still using those. We'll go for bomb load and speeds. They can destroy stuff when they get there, and they can be faster. Japan lost another carrier. Wow, unlucky. Britain's going up. France went down, but it went back up. So we got some growing concerns here. How close are we to? What am I rebuilding here? Light cruisers. I'm a little bit confused. I should have light cruisers that are. All right, let's do this. Division. So 7, 8, 9. So this goes into 6. Okay, we're going to start shuffling these Tacomas up to some of the upper fleets to get them out of the way. Off you go. And then, yeah, this is what we'll do. So the Chattanoogas are going to go to the lowest fleets. Then the Miamis go into the carrier fleet, or the carrier escort divisions, essentially. There we go. We're getting there. We're sorting it out. Oh, wow, that was quick. Japan and Britain are no longer fighting. It was a quick war. Compromised peace. Here is the German carrier that's being built. It is 77 aircraft, 29 knots. Yeah, pretty standard carriers. It's quite a bit smaller than ours, but they also have armor. Okay, and of course we don't get the bonus for the recent war ending. Okay. So the Brooklyns are finished rebuilding. So we can put a couple of those onto foreign. We'll put the whole second fleet on foreign station. And then the Rangers can go into rebuild. We need a little bit more on foreign station. We'll do some McCalls on foreign station. Just get it taken care of. Oh, Sierra Leone has been granted freedom by the British. Let's build a highway for economic development, please. Helicopters and light jet fighters can carry air-to-surface missiles or anti-ship missiles. Okay. We got 2 more Miamis finished. Let's go ahead and assign those. There you go. Fleet number 9. We're getting close. So we also need 11 and 12. So we'll put these will be escorts for, well, not going to be escorts, but they're going into fleet number 2. And these will go into fleet number 3. And then number 2, these are air defense Chattanoogas essentially. They're not great, but there we go. And okay. We're just trying to keep the stuff that we designed with air defense in mind in our like around our carriers essentially. Well, there's the war with France. Kind of unfortunate timing, but it's not horrible. Okay, how are the Lexingtons looking? Let's check our air groups. So they're still they're still poor, and they're not filled up at all hardly. So they're not going to be doing a whole lot in this war, which means we need to start moving. It is unfortunate that trade protection is a little bit messed up here. 13. Trade protection. Trade protection. There we go. At least it's covered. And we need to send the Minnesotas to Northern Europe from Asia, essentially. And they will take the first destroyer group with them. And we also need to send the heavy cruisers. Northern Europe. The light cruisers. Northern Europe. And then we're sending both sets of enterprises there. And that is, it's only, okay, they're going to split up. That's going to be 11 and 12. All right, we'll see how that looks when everything gets there, how our supply situation looks. All right, and it is 35 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and call this episode, and the next one will be fighting with France here. Yeah, we still have a lot of stuff in reconstruction, and we're still building a lot of stuff. So the Rangers won't be involved in this war for quite a while, unfortunately. So maybe we'll end up using like one of the Brooklyns as Raider or something. We're gonna go to unrestricted warfare, and that's it. We're gonna go ahead and call it here. I appreciate each and every one of you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time, and stay safe out there.